Did people actually miss who CBS believed to be the real key to the future of its late-night lineup? As in not Stephen Colbert? Back in March, Taylor Tomlinson decided she would take her popular stand-up act on the road full-time rather than continue hosting After Midnight, the comedy pseudo-game show that had been running on CBS at 12:37 a.m. weeknights. At the time, the move was a surprise. Tomlinson was doing well, pulling in a solid core of younger viewers, and she seemed enthused. Just 2 months earlier, as part of an interview marking After Midnight first anniversary, she told me, "At first, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not good at this. Now I've taken to it." But the prospect of a third season did not enthuse as much apparently. The bigger surprise came when CBS announced it would simply close After Midnight down rather than search for another host. According to all involved, the network had already quietly renewed the show for a third season. It was only after Tomlinson bailed that CBS chose to scuttle it entirely. Cut to 4 months later, CBS drops the most explosive bombshell in recent late-night history. It is canceling the apparent jewel in its crown, the 30-plus-year-old late show hosted by the multi-Emmy-winning Colbert. In the weeks since that brutal shake-up, the TV industry has been hunting for a smoking gun tangled up in the billions-drenched takeover of CBS's parent Paramount Global by Skydance Media. Then last week, George Cheeks, CEO of TV media for CBS Paramount, added a dash of hot sauce to all the dishy speculation. Speaking at a press conference marking the closing of the Skydance deal, Cheeks said that when Tomlinson walked away from After Midnight, CBS came to the conclusion it couldn't stay in that daypart. Yes, he also cited challenges with advertiser support and professed the network's love and admiration for Colbert and the show David Letterman created. But the Rubicon into no late-night land, Cheeks suggested, was crossed because Taylor Tomlinson bolted, not the reported tens of millions being lost, not the insults tossed at Colbert from the leader of the free world, not the merger, not the fear that the FCC might threaten the licenses of CBS-owned stations unless Colbert was offered as a ritual sacrifice. No, the trigger, according to Cheeks, was the sudden, unexpected flight of the star of its less than 2-year-old late-night satellite. Does that make sense? In a vacuum, obviously not. In a vortex, maybe yes. Late night would prefer the vacuum, because the vortex is pulling it under. The truth is, late-night shows are fighting for their lives amid shrinking audiences, worsening demographics, and diminishing ad revenues. Is it possible CBS was considering replacing its top-rated but money-losing, ideologically polarizing 11:35 p.m. show with its younger, skewing, cheaper, less political 12:37 a.m. entry? If there's anything we've learned in recent weeks, it seems anything's possible. CBS may well have seen a rising late-night star in Taylor Tomlinson. Her mix of personal and generally non-political material, Christian upbringing, family life, mental health struggles certainly wouldn't hurt her appeal to a network weary of nightly political combat. The twist: After Midnight was produced in part by Spartina Productions, owned by Stephen Colbert. If CBS saw Tomlinson as the future, it was a future Colbert was already helping to make. A less dramatic reading of Cheeks' comment: had Tomlinson stayed, the status quo would have prevailed, at leisure for the time being. Yes, Colbert's show was losing money, but it still delivered affiliates a stable to our block to sell local ads against. Faced with the cost and instability of relaunching After Midnight, CBS instead asked itself whether late night was worth it at all in 2005. Either way, Tomlinson now has a new and improbable footnote in television history. The comic whose departure helped take down Stephen Colbert. When she left, Colbert wished her well. What he didn't know was that she was taking CBS's late night and his own show with her. In a surprising turn of events, CBS's late night lineup has undergone a significant overhaul, with the network canceling its long-running late show hosted by Stephen Colbert. The decision has left the industry buzzing, but the catalyst for this change might be more unexpected than anyone could have imagined: the departure of Taylor Tomlinson from her late-night show, After Midnight. Back in March, Tomlinson made a surprising announcement. Instead of continuing to host After Midnight, she decided to take her popular stand-up act on the road full-time. At the time, this move was a shock to many, as Tomlinson had been doing well, attracting a solid core of younger viewers and seeming genuinely enthusiastic about her role. Just 2 months earlier, in an interview marking the show's first anniversary, she had expressed her growing comfort with the hosting gig, saying, "At first, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not good at this. Now I've taken to it." However, the prospect of a third season did not seem to enthuse her as much. CBS, which had quietly renewed the show for a third season, decided to shut it down entirely after Tomlinson's departure. This decision set the stage for the more dramatic announcement that followed: the cancellation of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.